Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Debbie Dotson, who is here on behalf of the third board. Well, Debbie, thank you so much. We are so happy you could join us today.
Oh, me too, Lisa. Thank you so much for having me. I've been watching you now for some time, and when I got this opportunity, I was very excited.
Well, I'm glad, and hopefully we'll have a lot of great information, and sometimes we have some laughs too. So all good. Well, good. Well, and something so exciting that you shared with me off camera is that you have finally taken the leap of faith and you went out and sat on a patio.
I did. I went last night, and we sat. I don't know if a local restaurant, and we sat outside and enjoyed our meal, and it was wonderful. It was so great to actually feel comfortable enough to go back out. And the restaurant we went to was very COVID safe. They brought, individual use items. They had their menu. They had a paper menu, or you could use the phone QR code and get it on your phone. But it was a wonderful meal, and I feel so grateful to be out there and finally maybe a little glimmer of hope.
Exactly. Well, I think more and more people are feeling like that. So that's awesome. So with that said, you have a few COVID things that you would like to tell us about. So go ahead and start there.
Sure, sure. We had our last board meeting on Tuesday, February 16th. That recording is available, of course, on the Granicus website of Laguna Woods. So if you missed it and want to see the entire open meeting, it's there for you. And as always, Mr. Parker comes and gives us his updates, including the COVID numbers. And we are so pleased that they are improving substantially across the board. From the hospitalizations and the positivity rate. So that is just so fortunate. And I know I feel better and am hopeful now. And I know that many of our residents are starting to feel optimistic as well. And he updated us, of course, like he does with you, Lisa, about the overwhelming success of the vaccination program here in our partnership with Memorial Care. And right now we have, my understanding is we've given over 8,500 or 8,600 vaccines to our residents, which is remarkable, not to mention those people who have gone out and gotten them at Disneyland and Soka. But I cannot, and the board cannot thank enough the hard work of the VMS staff on making this happen, and the countless hours they spent on the logistics and working in tandem with Memorial Care and all the great village volunteers who brought this to a reality. I hope our residents realize how fortunate we are to have such a hardworking team here.
Thank you. That's great. That's good news, because you know what? It did take a lot of people to get that rolling. And now we're doing it on an ongoing basis. So each week is a new week, and, there's new challenges and new successes each time. So yeah, it's been great. 8,500 people, and we have 9,000 or over 9,000 people that are over the age of 75. Now, some of course have elected not to get it, but nonetheless, 8,500 people in the village is great.
It certainly is. And some of the people who have elected not to get it, it's just a matter of education. I have a quick story. A neighbor that was a chemist, she talked to someone, neighbors that were afraid to get it, and she told them how it worked, and they decided to go sign up. So sometimes it's just, getting over that hump.
Yeah, and we've aired a few interviews with Ronnie Andrews, who is he's been in the diagnostic world for a really long time, and he's been able to help us understand the differences of what the vaccine is all about. So that was really great that the gal explained that to him, because you're right, education is super key.
It is.
So now let's move on a little bit. We've got the bulky item pickup is back. So tell me a little bit about what you want to say there.
I just want to remind people that if you don't want it, probably somebody else doesn't want it. So don't leave it by the trash bin for it to be it's unsightly, and we want to keep our community nice. So with the bulky item pickup, you can arrange for them to pick it up curbside by calling resident services, So that's really, I just see a lot of times I'll walk out to the trash and see something and I'm like, no, that shouldn't be there. And you know, it's just easy to pick up the lid and throw it in.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. And you know, sometimes those large items, you know, you just drag them out. But I like the fact that you can just call resident services and they can just take care of it. So hopefully
Right.
that'll, you know, I know that'll be that started up again. And it's, what is it usually, the third Saturday?
I believe it's the third Saturday of the month. And of course, you know, it's time for spring cleaning. So now's a good time. Those things you've been waiting to get rid of all winter, here we go.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, social media is a big communicator, you know, good or bad. And there's been a couple of strange things that have been going on in our social media here in the village. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, you know, the social media has been gotten a lot worse lately. There's a lot of misinformation and it incites worries among our residents and there's no basis in facts. But the vast majority of the board members do not participate in social media because that's not a way to solve problems.
Mhm.
Um, you can go there and vent, but it's not going to have a constructive outcome. So, and Third Mutual, we've actually introduced a social media policy for our board members about posting on social media because we don't want anyone to think that we're promoting the board or the, you know, it's board policies or things like that. So none of our board, as I mentioned, uses these platforms to post our thoughts. And we want the community to know that by doing the social media policy, it is that we don't also approve of these forums to promote negativity. So we want to produce a positive outcome. So I would like to say, please don't believe everything you read. For the example, a forum like Nextdoor, that was designed to help people find your pets, you know, find someone to help you with services. And it has just become a terrible forum now with bullying and things, and posting your complaints there will never result in a good outcome. You've got to bring your concerns to people who can help you and start with resident services. That's what they're there for. You can email or call them. I've lived here for over 3 years and been a board member for just a few months, but I've never personally had any issue that I've brought up to resident services go ignored or unresolved.
Mhm.
It's important that you give them as much information as you can, and when you contact them, and be patient. They will help you. Sometimes you will have to follow up. We've had some challenges over the last several months between COVID and the cyber situation, but things are getting back on track here. They
Right.
really are, and they're here to help. Two things. I would like to talk about landscaping, that we are redoing some of the things on the website, so it'll be easier for residents to find the policies. And our landscape committee has been working very hard to improve with Director Wyman. So you'll see positive things there. And I do want to talk about new resident orientations instead of the resales, because resale you can see on our website. We are back with new resident orientations. They are still virtual, but our next one is scheduled in March for March 19th and then April 21st, but you do have to register with VMS. So that's all I wanted to say.
Well, no, that's great. And you know what? We talk about the new resident orientations as well. And you'll want to register with becky.jackson@vmsinc.org, and she'll get you up on that. Now, tell me, you know, you have another meeting coming up. When is that one?
March 16th at 9:30 a.m.
Okay.
And, you know, we have when you go to Granicus, you can send us, either call in 30 minutes ahead or email us ahead. And we do have resident comments at the beginning of the meeting, and we will respond to them. We had a special residents meeting. We have not responded to that yet, but we are working on our response, and that will be shared at our next meeting.
All right. Perfect. Well, Debbie, thank you so much. It was very nice to meet you.
You too, Lisa, and thank you for having me today. And wow, that time went fast.
It did. It did. All right. Well, we'll see you again, I'm sure.
Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Have a great day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. And we'll be right back after this.